As we close our celebration of the Miami Valley Council's 100th anniversary, let's take a look back at our story. We all know the legend of the unknown scout. William D. Boyce was lost on a foggy street in London when an unknown boy came to his aid, guiding him to his destination. Boyce returned to America and 4 months later founded the Boy Scouts of America in 1910.
This unknown scout, whose faithfulness in the performance of the daily good turn brought the scout movement to the United States of America and to Dayton, Ohio.
As scouting grew in the Miami Valley, individual troops sprang up in neighborhoods and other communities. While the individual troops flourished, there is no organizational structure to help scouting grow in the Miami Valley.
In 1918, a local businessman, Fred Reich, along with other prominent community leaders, petitioned the National Boy Scout headquarters in New York City for a charter and thus began what would become the Miami Valley Council. Originally organized to serve Dayton, Ohio, and Montgomery County, the council would grow to serve boys in Miami, Shelby, Darke, and Preble counties as well. In March of 1918, an organizational meeting of the new council was held. The purpose of the meeting was to organize a fundraising campaign for the new council. Sufficient funds were raised to hire a local executive director, better known as a scout executive.
Scouting began to flourish in the Miami Valley with the availability of handbooks, insignia, uniforms, and training. Individual troops developed their own outdoor program of hiking, weekend camping, canoeing, and in many cases, a week-long campout. While these activities served the needs of many scouts, council leadership realized the need for their own scout camp. Despite a limited budget, property was acquired on the north side of Dayton to establish a permanent place for scouting in the Miami Valley. In the summer of 1921, a contest was held to select a name for a new camp. The official chosen was Milton Caniff's Cricket Holler. Caniff started a newspaper called The Cricket. Legends grew up around the new name, and many years later, Milton Caniff created a mascot for Cricket Holler, Kit Cricket. That character in buckskins would become a familiar sight to scouts then as now.
In the mid-1920s, scouting grew not only in Dayton, but Greenville, Troy, and Tip City. In Sydney, 3 troops were established, and in Piqua, a troop was sponsored by the Presbyterian Church.
In 1924, the National Executive Board proposed a younger boy program, and in 1930, Cub Scouts was founded and quickly adopted by the Miami Valley. In 1926, the original 11 acres of Cricket Holler was expanded to nearly 200 acres by a donation to the Miami Valley Council.
The value of Cricket Holler as a year-round scout camp was realized. Plans were formed and work was started on redeveloping the camp. Surveys were made and estimates figured to determine the cost of changing Cricket Holler into a fully satisfactory camp. Wells had to be drilled, shelters built, and a swimming pool was a necessity. Not all of these things were possible at once, but the council kept moving forward. 4 campsites were built, the swimming pool was completed, and a brick residence was designed and built for the camp ranger. For some time, the Kiwanis Club of downtown Dayton had been interested in scouting, and in 1945, they conducted a campaign to raise money for the growing camp at Cricket Holler. With the money raised, the Kiwanis Lodge at Cricket Holler, better known as the K-Lodge, was built and furnished. The lodge included a kitchen, recreation room, and dining room that would accommodate more than 200 boys. In 1945, several thousand trees were given to the council by the U.S. Forestry Service, and they were used in a huge reforesting project at Cricket Holler. The trees were planted by the scouts and their leaders. Scouts who planted 100 or more trees became eligible for a special patch for their uniform. Also in 1946, the council got underway to erect Adirondack shelters at Cricket Holler. The shelters would make Cricket Holler truly a year-round camp. With a reflector fire in front of each shelter, it was possible to keep them warm, even in cold winter weather. Finally, in the late summer of 1946, a council ring was built at Cricket Holler. the ring was dedicated as a tribute to peace, and at the opening ceremony, the Scouts reenacted the signing of the Treaty of Greenville as a symbol of peace and brotherhood. One of the largest outdoor events in the history of the Council took place at Greenville. Over 600 Scouts set up camp in the Greenville Park for a weekend of competition and scouting fun. The camporee commemorated the signing of the Treaty of Greenville, which ended hostilities in the Northwest Indian Territorial Wars. This campout led to the long tradition of the Greenville Treaty Camporee.
The first woodbedge course run by the Boy Scouts of America opened at Shift Scout Reservation July 31st, 1948, under the direction of legendary William Greenbar Bill Hillcourt. 29 men had arrived by special invitation of the Chief Scout Executive. One of those men was Scoutmaster Charlie Baresh of Dayton, Ohio.
The decade of the 1950s saw two significant achievements in the Miami Valley Council. In 1952, an Order of the Air Lodge was established in the Miami Valley Council with help from neighboring OA lodges. The first members were inducted and the new lodge established. Miami Lodge was the name chosen, and Sand Hill Crane was selected as their totem. For 67 years, the lodge, originally numbered 495, has prospered. It has fulfilled the Order's obligation to be unselfish in service and devotion to the welfare of others, and has provided leadership and service to Scouts of the Miami Valley.
Due to overcrowding at Cricket Holler, plans were made for a new resident camp. 1,800 acres in Preble County was located. After a $1 million capital campaign, ground was officially broken on January 21st, 1959. The camp was named Woodland Trails Scout Reservation. Over the years, Woodland was developed and improved. This included a 35-acre lake, a trading post, dining hall, campsites, ranger residence, horse ranch, and swimming pool. The United States celebrated its 200th birthday in 1976. A special event was held at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Over 10,000 Scouts attended the Bicentennial Jamboree. Due to its success, other major events were held at the Air Force Base, including Olymporama in 1980 and Sit-O-Rama in 1984.
As Scouting entered the 1980s, the BSA harkened back to its historic roots by putting the outing back in Scouting. The really big change with the 9th edition of the official Boy Scout handbook written by Greenbar Bill Hillcourt.
In early 2000, the Yeck Family Foundation generously supported the work of building a Class 1 dam at Woodland Trails. This would improve the shorelines and make the waterfront enjoyable for generations of Scouts to come.
In 2007, the Miami Valley Council dedicated the Shevitz Center. This new training facility would further enhance the reputation of Cricket Holler as a training facility.
During our 100th anniversary celebration, we have new momentum as we welcome the full family into our movement. In our second century, the Miami Valley Council will continue to engage our families, introduce ourselves to our community, and invest in our programs and properties.
Recent years have seen improvements at Cricket Holler and the restoration of the Kiwanis Lodge and the caretaker residence. Improvements at the Shevitz Center for Training, our premier training facility, include a new standing seam roof, a new HVAC system, new front entry doors, new floor and window coverings, and an interior paint. Soon, new audio visuals will be installed in all rooms, exterior paint, and the Centennial Brick Paver Plaza project will be completed. Improvements at Woodland Trails include the North Shower House, the FEMA shelter, and the Spillway Bridge. These changes allow us to better serve the Scouting family and our new members. While much has changed in the past 100 years, the mission of the Miami Valley Council remains the same. Our mission continues to prepare young people to make ethical and moral choices over their lifetimes by instilling in them the values of the Scout Oath and law, the foundation on which this organization is built.